for us to do that, let's come back to our code. I'll just clean this using the command clear. So now I'm going to be creating the Hardhat application, but make sure that you are inside the blockchain folder. So I'll just say npm install. I want to save it to the development, so save Hardhat. Save Hardhat. So once I do that, I will install Hardhat for the development environment, and see that. So we are just waiting for it to finish installing. Now we have been able to install Hardhat. So you can see Hardhat has been added to our dev dependencies. So now that we have been able to do that, now let us initialize it. So initializing it means that we want to bootstrap it, where we create the needed folder. There's a way it comes shipped with some other needed dependencies, needed files and the like. So we want to now initialize so that it creates the files for us. All we just need to do is just to go ahead to now start editing. So inside that same folder, just do npx Hardhat. npx Hardhat, so that will initialize your Hardhat project. So you can see we are here. So it's Hardhat, welcome to Hardhat version 2.23.0. So it's asking me, what do you want to do? So if we are doing TypeScript, you can scroll to TypeScript. If you are doing JavaScript, but for now we are doing JavaScript, so I'll just press enter for JavaScript. So where do you want to create this Hardhat project? So I want to do it in the root, in the project root, which is inside this same folder. So do you want to add git ignore? I will say why, yes. So for the previous one, just do the default. And now do you want to install the sample project dependency with npm? I will say yes. So once I do that, it will install it, then and just wait for it. Then we'll be good to go to write our smart contracts and also compile it with Hardhat, connect it to the front end, and we'll see how to work together with it in our blockchain integration. Alright, so we have been able to install Hardhat together with all its dependencies, and you can see now this is our blockchain folder where we are going to be writing, where we are going to be adding our blockchain implementation. You can see we have the Hardhat config file, the version of Solidity is 0.8.28, and then you have the ignition. This ignition actually compile your smart contract for you. You have some sample codes where you might not want to disturb yourself too much. We are going to be writing our own. Then it will compile it and actually deploy it for you. And this is where you have your Solidity smart contract. This is the version. And also you can see that we have some sample codes here that you can just go through, but we are going to be writing our own. So, but because we just want to work with their pattern of further structuring and the likes, so we decided to initialize it with some JavaScript projects. Now we move forward, because definitely we are going to be interacting with the Ethereum blockchain and its ecosystem. One library we are going to be needing is the Ethers.js. We are going to be using the Ethers.js. So it's a library that actually, it's a complete and compact library for interacting with the Ethereum blockchain and its ecosystem. So, but actually we are going to be, you can see, so it has some features that you can actually check and read later, but we are going to be seeing it in practical usage. So we are going to be needing it because we want to interact with the Ethereum blockchain and its ecosystem. So in order for us to use that, we just do npm install Ethers to interact with the blockchain. So now that we have that, we can then go ahead with our blockchain implementation. So I'll just write the entire blockchain logic. And once I finish writing it, then we can now compile it, deploy it, and link it up with our front-end implementation. Because the reason why we cannot be writing it in batches, write it and implement it in the front end, is because every time we deploy it, actually restart our application. So it's better we just write everything at once Of course, it's not that there's no room for you to test again, update something since you're in the local environment, but there's a way to refresh your application, and also since we're also using local server, there's a way to start your application, and if you need what you have done before, you have to go ahead and check the previous deployment and the likes. But let's just do it once and for all, and then and that's why you also need to test as much as possible locally. So once you are done and you're fine with the application, just push it up and you will be good to go. So in order for us to understand our smart contract implementation, let us understand our code for what the application is actually trying to achieve first using this system flow diagram. So we start with the initial stage. The initial stage is the shipment creation. So the shipment creation is the point where the sender, or what a person can see as a seller, actually initiate the shipment request. So this seller or sender actually initiate a shipment request by creating a shipment. Then the shipment is to be added to the blockchain, and it will be added as pending or something like that. So from there, once it has been added by the seller, then the seller will need to pay upfront, and the payment will be locked in an escrow, meaning that the money will leave the seller hands and it will not go to the direct person who's supposed to receive the money, because the transaction or the action has not been performed. And that is the place of smart contract, because smart contract actually, it's like an agreement. When something has been done, it fulfill it, and when it has not been done, it's hold on to it. Alright, so from there, the shipment starts. The registry provider will pick up the parcel and update the status to, alright, this thing has been picked up and it is currently in the process of being delivered. However, they will still not receive the money. So once the shipment has been delivered, then there is why we confirm the receipt of the shipment, and then there is the logistics provider will get the money. The money will be transferred automatically to the logistics provider wallet, and once that has been done, that will be the end of the process. However, the record will be saved on the blockchain, either if it's at the initial stage, if it's at the stage, or this other stage. The record will be saved on the blockchain, and at the end of the day, you might still want to check, you might want to track, you might want to see list, you might want to verify some payments. Then you can always come back, track, and also check the shipment record. So now that we understand how our smart contracts will work, let us now go ahead to implement it. So I'll just go right here to the blockchain folder. Then into the contract. Smart contract is just a code or instruction that is actually running on the blockchain. So I'll just rename this just to overwrite it. Just rename that supply chain .solidity. So here you go. So you have it. So I'll just clean up their code. Don't forget, when you're writing your smart contract, what you should start with is your license. So how do you do your license? Let me close this